I think these are reasonable price targets. But all right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about HIVE Blockchain, stock ticker HIVE. HIVE gave their monthly operational and mining update, as well as a few other press releases of some important information. So I wanted to go through all of that today, and then we'll take a look at the chart and see what's going on there. So please, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you enjoy this video, please smash the like button and feel free to drop a comment below. Also, there's a pinned comment below with a link to our free Discord. So we're almost at 500 members. We would love to have you over there. So having said that, let's take a look at HIVE. Okay, I want to start with their operational update. So this was just a few days ago. This was on March 8th. HIVE Blockchain provides update on February 2022 production and at the market offering. As we do these videos, we talk about the number of Bitcoin mined per month. Well, HIVE mines a lot of Ethereum, so they do the conversion for us and give us their monthly operational and mining updates in Bitcoin equivalent. So let's take a look at that. The company's total Bitcoin equivalent production in February 2022 was 377.1 Bitcoin equivalent produced, 13.5 Bitcoin equivalent per day on average. So I'd like to compare that to the previous month. That's always a meaningful comparison for me. How are these miners doing? You know, they give us these monthly updates so we can see how they're doing on a monthly basis. So I like to compare, how does that stack up versus last month? I will tell you, almost all the Bitcoin miners numbers went down in February. So HIVE was no different. Let's take a look. In January, they did 425 Bitcoin equivalent. But more importantly, because there's less days, let's go to the per day average. So that's 13.7 Bitcoin equivalent produced per day. So if we go back here, that turned into 13.5 Bitcoin equivalent produced per day on average. So not only was there 3 less days reducing the amount of Bitcoin they mined, but their average went down 0.2 Bitcoin a day. So that is a very small change. It's almost immaterial. So February was relatively similar to January. 2.84 exahash of Bitcoin equivalent hash rate as of February 28th. So 2.84 this month. Last month that was 2.9 exahash. So that went down just a little bit. So typically as we get these monthly updates, we see all these numbers going up. In the month of February for everybody, obviously for starters, there was less days, so everybody's numbers went down. And for the Canadian miners in particular, they were involved in curtailment programs to divert energy towards the places that needed it in cold climates. For the second consecutive month, in February, our production would have been slightly higher than actuals if not for continuing curtailment of energy during the month under our agreement with Quebec Hydro. The seasonal curtailment continued to affect numerous crypto mining companies operating in Quebec, along with HIVE. In addition to New Brunswick, we continued to experience, as expected, a temporary seasonal rise in energy prices. To go from 13.7 to 13.5 is fairly immaterial. Those are almost the same. But you can see it did have a little bit of effect on their February numbers. So in addition to their operational update, they also gave this information in the same press release. Conclusion of At the Market offering. The At the Market offer program was established on February 2nd, 2021, so that was a year ago, allowing the company to issue up to $100 million aggregate amount of common shares of the company to the public from time to time, at the company's discretion. As of the date of this announcement, HIVE has sold 27,236,000 common shares under the ATM program for aggregate gross proceeds of basically $99.5 million. So with that, they are closing their at the market offering. They're at $99.5 million. It was a $100 million at the market program. So they are closing the program. A lot of times these ATMs put downward pressure on the price because people are anticipating the dilution. So at this point, this program is now closed and they've completed, raising $99.5 million. Okay, I want to go to one more press release. They do have 2 other big pieces of information. So they put that out in a big press release on March 7th, so just a few days ago. HIVE Blockchain announces landmark deal to buy new high-performing ASIC chips from Intel and a 100 megawatt renewable energy deal in Dallas. So those are 2 totally separate things, and we'll go through both of them real quick. We are announcing a supply agreement with Intel Corporation to purchase new high-performance ASIC chips that will be incorporated into state-of-the-art mining equipment that will be custom-built for HIVE. So this is one of the things with these Intel chips. Most of the other companies are selling mining machines and they have the ASIC chips in them. Intel is selling the chips. So I suspect a lot of companies are going to do exactly what HIVE is doing, which is they are going to buy these chips and then they're going to outsource having custom machines built for them. So they say, first, First, HIVE has entered into a supply agreement with Intel, which is one of the world's largest semiconductor manufacturers, for their upcoming blockchain accelerator. So that is their new ASIC chip. I will tell you, it is a little confusing to me that they keep calling it a blockchain accelerator, but I have dug into this and it is an ASIC chip expressly meant for mining Bitcoin. The company has also entered into a manufacturing agreement with an ODM, an original design manufacturer, that has expertise in electronics manufacturing. The ODM will integrate Intel's blockchain accelerators into an air-cooled Bitcoin mining system. These miners are expected to be delivered over a period of 1 year starting the second half of calendar year 2022, the effect of which, if they are all installed, would be an expected increase of up to 95% in our aggregate Bitcoin mining hash rate from 1.9 exahash per second. So that gets them just under 4 exahash in Bitcoin mining, but they also have a large amount of mining that they do in Ethereum. So this is only a part of their overall mining operation. Intel's energy efficient and high performance blockchain accelerator is expected to reduce our power consumption over current ASIC miners on the market. So that's one of the selling points of these Intel chips, is that they are more energy efficient. It's obviously both greener and more profitable. So the last thing they did here is a 100 megawatt of renewable energy in Texas. So HIVE is also pleased to announce it has entered into a non-binding letter of intent with Compute North, the industry leader in sustainable large-scale computing infrastructure. Compute North has done an exemplary job of putting the U.S. on the global stage as a reliable and scalable energy market for crypto miners. Furthermore, their team shares the same commitment to use renewable energy that HIVE has adhered to since its listing as the world's first publicly traded crypto miner. So again, this goes to ESG, and that is of growing importance, and there's a lot of talk around that right now. So HIVE is doing its part to go green. This is a key relationship for them, and again, right now it's a non-binding letter of intent, so we'll have to follow that along as it goes, presumably until this turns into a deal. With all that said, let's take a look at what HIVE's stock is doing. All right, as of close of trading on Friday, March 11th, HIVE was trading at $1.72 per share. So that left them with a market cap of $706 million. So one of the things I wanted to show is their 52-week range is from $1.50 to $5.60. So you can see they're very close to the low end of their 52-week range right now. Now, one of the things that's tied to, obviously, is that Bitcoin is down. The price of Bitcoin is down quite a bit. However, what it does not take into account is the massive growth that HIVE has had over the course of the last year. So like most of the other Bitcoin miners, their market cap is lagging their growth in their business, in my opinion. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to just show you a chart real quick of where their market cap has been over the course of the last year. Okay, so you can see on November 8th, which was one day before Bitcoin hit its all-time high, HIVE hit its all-time high market cap at $1.89 billion. So just under $2 billion for HIVE, and we just saw it's now down to $706 million. So that is a significant decrease. Their stock would have to almost 3x from where it is right now to get back to this previous high. That just puts things in perspective a little bit. Let's take a look at the chart. All right, this is the HIVE chart on the 2-hour scale. So each one of these candles is 2 hours. This goes all the way back to December 3rd. Now, if you guys remember, that was the day of the Bitcoin flash crash. So Bitcoin was trading at around $56,000 at this green line. So that was basically 3.5 months ago. The blue line is December 27th. That is a day that Bitcoin hit a local high. So after the flash crash, Bitcoin was down for a while, and it reached a little bit of a high up to about 52,000 at this time. And most of the miners had a local high on that day as well, so HIVE included. The purple line right here was where HIVE was trading at the end of September. So September was the last time Bitcoin kind of ended a bear market. So September 29th was pretty much the low for Bitcoin and the low for all the Bitcoin miners. So this line right here represents where HIVE was trading at September 29th. So you can see we're trading well below this line right now, despite the fact that HIVE has grown quite a bit. At the moment, Bitcoin is slightly below where it was at September 29th. For most of this period of time here where they've been under this line, Bitcoin has been above that number. The price of HIVE stock needs to go up 44% just to get back to where they were at their September lows. And that was really their low for the year at that point. And if I zoom out a little, you'll see that's right here. This was September. That held for the rest of the year. We don't cross below this line until January 5th, 2022. So the next line would go back to December 27th, which was the blue line. This was when Bitcoin was trading at around $52,000 back at the end of December. So that would represent an 81% price increase in Hive stock if it were able to get back to this number. Okay, so if it could get back to this green line, which was where Hive was trading right before the Bitcoin flash crash, so that was about 3.5 months ago on December 3rd, that would be over a 100% increase in the price of Hive stock. Hive has grown dramatically since this point in time and has plans to continue growing. So I think all of these numbers are realistic price targets over the course of the next year. So again, this is not financial advice. This is what I'm looking at. I think these are reasonable price targets, but please do your own due diligence because as you guys know, these Bitcoin mining stocks are very volatile. The last thing I'll say is from a risk reward standpoint, Hive is about 12% off of its low. And this is, for all intents and purposes, this is its all-time low here on January 24th. And that was when Bitcoin was down at $33,000. So to me, the reasonable risk reward is a downside of 12%. And again, it could be more than that. Obviously, anything can happen. So please invest wisely. So those are my thoughts on Hive Blockchain. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.